Where's Skeletor? He's normally here by now. Oh, I hope he hasn't forgotten about the show.
Right, Whiplash, what are you doing in front of the camera?
Oh, sorry, Skeletor. I thought you'd forgotten about the show.
No, of course not, Whiplash. I just went to the toilet.
Oh, okay. I'll just get Beastman.
What? Why?
Beastman, Skeletor's just been to the toilet.
Thank you, Whiplash. Skeletor, Whiplash tells me you've just been to the toilet.
Yes, so?
Well, was it a number 1 or number 2?
Well, I fail to see why that's any concern of yours, Beastman, but if you must know, it was a number 2.
Would you like me to take care of it for you?
What do you mean, Beastman?
Would you like me to retrieve it and put it in the fridge for you?
No, Beastman.
Oh, have you already put it in the fridge yourself?
No, I flushed it like a normal person. Why are you obsessed with putting poos in the fridge?
To keep them cold, Skeletor.
But why?
I don't know, Skeletor. Monkey Boy wrote it into the script, but it doesn't appear to have an exit strategy.
Well, I suggest you exit strategically before anyone notices.
Yes, Skeletor.
Why would anyone put a poo in a fridge? Right, let's get on with the episode. Greetings. I am Skeletor, and welcome back to SkeleTalk, the series where I answer your questions. It's the internet's best kept secret. Right. Lord Malvada has reached out on Twitter with 2 questions and a riddle. Question 1. Would you rather have sex while blindfolded or handcuffed? Well, my sight is generated by magic, so a blindfold wouldn't actually work on me. However, in the spirit of your question, I suppose if the handcuffs were in front, I would choose that option. And question 2. If you could become invisible, what's the worst thing you'd do? Well, I think I might go into a high school and smack all the children. Or perhaps I'd go to a ballet performance and trip up the dancers. Actually, I might just go into Monkey Boy's local supermarket and throw oranges at all the customers. Or perhaps visit a library and run around shouting, "Tumble dryer!" There are no end of evil things I would do. And now the riddle. What does a dog do that a man steps into?
A massive shit, Skeletor.
Oh, Whiplash, that's not the correct answer. But I'm pleased you didn't say
penis, Skeletor.
Oh, for the love of sanity, Whiplash. Get out of my sight before I bash you around.
Yes, Skeletor. Sorry, Skeletor.
Right, well, I don't know what the answer is, but I will Google it later and put it on screen in the edit. Thanks for the questions, Lord Malvada. Stephen Gray has 3 questions. Number 1. What is the strangest or funniest thing you've seen for sale on eBay? Well, I've seen some very peculiar things on eBay. Someone once sold a haunted rubber duck for $107, and I have seen a sales post for a fart in a jar.
Skeletor, you bought a bottle of BELLE DELPHINE'S bathwater a few years ago.
That isn't strange or funny, Whiplash. That was sensible and prudent.
You drank some of it, Skeletor.
Of course I did, Whiplash. I'm not an idiot. I did it for my own safety. Get out of my sight before I beat you.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right. And question 2. What is the most bizarre name you have ever seen for a shop? Well, in the mid-90s, I visited Tunbridge Wells and came across a shop called Gower's Flowers. It was owned and operated by 80s cricket legend David Gower. However, it was not a florist shop. It was an establishment selling a wide variety of flour used for baking. I picked up a bag of seeded whole grain, a couple of small bags of self-raising, and a cheeky bag of spelt flour. I asked David to sign my cricket bat, and then I left the shop and scattered the flour all over the high street because I don't know what flour is for. And question 3. I have an idea for another sport called Death Grinder. Could you think up some rules? Yes. The sport should comprise of 3 teams of 3 players. The team captain has to throw themselves into a wood chipper, and the catcher must catch as much of the output as possible in a 15-litre bucket. If a team fills their bucket, the 3rd player may throw themselves into the wood chipper if they wish, and the catcher must use another bucket to catch this further ejector. The team with the most collected gore is the winner, and the prize is a funeral coupon for the families of the pureed team. Losing team players are poured into a river. Thanks for the question, Stephen. Des T has a trio of questions for me. Number 1, did you do anything spooky for Halloween? Yes, in the afternoon I watched Night of the Creeps with Monkey Boy, and in the early evening I went out trick-or-treating with some of my minions. We gathered lots of candy, all of which is now mine. I dressed as Peloquin from Nightbreed, which went over everybody's head. Later, in the night, we broke into a local orphanage and scared the living shit out of all the children. Many of them cried. It was brilliant. Question 2. With bonfire night upon us, will you be having a party? No, I'm afraid I don't celebrate November the 5th, really. I will probably just go out and watch some fireworks with Monkey Boy. And question 3. I could imagine that buffoon He-Man has already got his Christmas presents sorted. Have you? Well, I tend to pick things up throughout the year, but I still have a few things to get. I'm having difficulty thinking of what to get for Evil Lyn and Panther, so I would welcome suggestions. Thanks for the questions, Des. Andrew asks, if you took over Castle Grayskull, would you put Snake Mountain on the market? No, I would never sell Snake Mountain. Not only is it bigger than Castle Grayskull and fully equipped to my exact specifications, I don't think my lizard collection would appreciate being moved from their comfortable surroundings. Once I had discovered its secrets, I would use Grayskull as my weekend residence and an alternative place to stable my horses. In any case, I think I would struggle to sell Snake Mountain because the stench of evil hangs heavy in the air and the shadows are quite disconcerting until one gets used to them. I think there would also be an opportunity for Hordak to reoccupy the stronghold, and I refuse to allow this. I've taken over Snake Mountain once, and I'm not letting that twit have it back. Thanks for the question, Andrew. Retro Toy Guy Sai asks, how does one travel between Earth and Eternia, and how is time affected? Well, I have to use a magic portal to travel back and forth, and the passage of time is equivalent either way, unless Evil Lyn and I combine our Havoc magic to create a time preservation portal, which returns us at the exact time we departed. I tend not to use this method very much because it makes my working day much longer. I don't know if that made sense. Thanks for the question, Sai. Soda Cauldron has some inquiries. Number 1, do you wear that lovely pink apron for general housekeeping chores? No. Firstly, I do not do chores, and I have people for that. And secondly, I would never wear my lovely pink apron because I don't have one. This was a vicious rumour started by Gerard O'Connor and is supported by no evidence whatsoever. Question 2. Roton or Spydor? Roton. I like to have the option of flight. And question 3. When you did have hair, which brush suited your everyday coiffure? Well, my brush of choice was a Mason Pearson medium boar bristle brush. Thank you for asking, and thanks for the questions. Alex James has another 3 questions. Number 1, who do you think is better at magic, Orko or Yuckers? Oh, Orko is the superior magician. Yuckers is great at practical jokes, but he lacks the experience of Orko, who only pretends to be rubbish at magic. I have it on good authority that Orko is in fact capable of incredibly potent magic. And question 2. Who is your favourite and least favourite incarnation of Doctor Who? Well, I'm afraid I don't like Doctor Who, so I have nothing on which to base an opinion. My vote for the best and worst costume would be Peter Davidson's cricket jumper. I'm not sure if that's genius or just ludicrous. I have no further thoughts on the matter. And question 3. Did you help coordinate the dance routines for Gene Kelly in Xanadu? Oh, if I had $1 for every time I've been asked that question. And the answer is no. I detest all forms of dancing and would never allow myself to be involved in such an awful form of expression. Dancing makes me feel sick and angry, and anyone who enjoys dancing or watching dancing should be pitied. Dancing is the worst thing that has ever happened and should be outlawed immediately. That's my whole day ruined. But thanks for the questions, Alex. The original YouTuber The Monkey asks, would you and Evil Lyn be interested in adopting Samara Morgan? And is there a well near Snake Mountain where she could live? Yes, we would be delighted to adopt Samara if given the opportunity. It would give me great pleasure to send her to the Royal Palace to scare the piss out of everybody. And yes, there is an old well available in which to accommodate her. Thanks for the question there, Monkey. Retro Ed has 3 questions for me. Number 1, shag, marry, avoid. Ugh. The options are Man-at-Arms, Orko, and He-Man. Right, I hate this game, and your options are without exception unappealing. Right, well, I suppose I would shag Man-at-Arms, marry Orko, and avoid He-Man. Well, at least now I have something to discuss with my therapist. And question 2, deodorant, ball or aerosol? Neither. I choose stick. And question 3, how do you like to kick back after a hard day's work? Well, in the evenings I like to watch a movie with Panther and enjoy a large sherry or 2. During this time, I release all the flatulence I have saved during the day. After this, I usually try to catch up with any YouTube comments I may have missed, as I find this enjoyable and do not consider this to be work. Before retiring to bed, I always take the time to kick the stuffing out of Beastman because I find his whimpering to be very soothing. Once in bed, I put on my bedtime sounds playlist or listen to audiobooks about quantum physics while I drift off to sleep. Thanks for the questions, Ed, and thanks for the questions, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and share it with your minions. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and do leave any comments or questions for me for next week in the section below. Right, I'm off to eat biscuits and watch Dawn of the Dead. See you next time. Bye!